Hello, everyone. My name is Ben Bird, and I am going to read you this book, Blast Off Are You a Honey Cruncher Kid? And Other Poems. Thanks. I want to thank God. He gave me the urge to write poetry, and if my poems are any good, it's only because God allowed them to be. I also want to thank the Blessed Virgin Mary, St. Peter, St. Paul, St. Anthony, St. Cecilia, my guardian angel, and all the new invisible friends I've made since converting to Catholicism. I don't know if they helped me write poems or not. I just wanted to do some name dropping. I want to thank my parents. They fed me when I was hungry, gave me water when I was thirsty, and clothed me when I was naked. Without the basics of life being met, the creation of poetry would be impossible. Thank you, Mom and Dad, for working even when you didn't feel like it. Now that I have children of my own, I understand how hard being a parent is. I want to thank my wife. I probably spent a lot of time on these poems when I should have been spending it with her or our kids or fixing a leaky faucet or making money or something like that. She's patient and supportive and beautiful. I want to thank all the English teachers I've ever had, except for the feminist and communist professors I had in college. They sucked. I want to thank everybody and everything that inspired me to write a poem. I want to thank everybody who took the time to read my poems or listened to me read my poems out loud or clicked on the like button on Facebook when I posted a poem. I'm sure many times people just read or listened to my poems just to be polite, and I appreciate politeness. Finally, I want to thank you, the person reading the words in this book right now, for spending money on the book, or if you got this book for free somehow, whatever, that's cool too. All right, that's the end of the chapter called Thanks. And next is the chapter called Notes. Can you hear me okay? Should I be this loud? Is this way louder? Hello, hello, hello. All right, next is the chapter called Notes. I'm publishing this book in 2023, but I wrote some of the poems a long time ago. One of them I started writing probably in 2003 or 2004. I've been writing poems for a long time, since I was a teenager probably, and I'm 40 now, and I don't write very much. I sometimes go years without writing any poems. I can't remember when I wrote some of these. This might be the only poem book I publish in my whole life. Hopefully I can write a lot more good ones, but I don't know. I feel like my brain is kind of getting older and slower, and life gets busy with work and a wife and kids. I've heard the advice that you're not supposed to apologize for your art before you present it to your audience, so I'm going to avoid doing that. I just want to say that I acknowledge that there are so many better poems out there in the world than the ones in this book. I know that, and I know that you know that. The best poems in the world are the Psalms in the Bible. So if you haven't read those yet, go read those. I hate social media. I hate what it's done to our society. Studies have shown that the more time people, especially children, spend on social media, the more mental and emotional problems they have. But I have to participate on social media at least a little to promote this self-published book. So, anyway, follow me on Facebook or Twitter or Truth Social or YouTube or Rumble or Instagram if you want to. Send me a message and I might respond. Although I sometimes get in the mood to quit the internet altogether, so I might do that. Whatever. I reserve the right to change my poems whenever I want. There are some slight differences between the poems in this book and the way they appear on my website, benbirdspoetry.weebly.com. That's because almost every time I copy and paste my poems, I can't resist making a few edits here or there. Oh yeah, another thing I wanted to say is that I didn't have an editor look at this manuscript before publishing it, so hopefully Thorn are no typos in this book. I actually wrote Thorn in there as kind of a joke. The joke is better when you read it rather than when you hear it out loud. Don't look for any theme or pattern in the arrangement of the poems. It's all random. And for some of the poems, I hope you don't think about them too much. They're just silly. Although I would rather have you err on the side of thinking about my poems too much rather than thinking about them too little. I love people thinking about my poems, and I love thinking about people thinking about my poems, probably because I'm self centered. There are more poems that I've written that I didn't include in this book. They were rejected because I thought they weren't good enough or something. Some of these poems are autobiographical, some are fictional, and some are somewhere in between. All right, so without further ado, now we come to the part of the book where there's actually the poems, and I had got this idea. I was worried that you guys wouldn't know when one poem was finished and when another poem is getting started. So I got this little thing. So whenever I shake that, that means the poem is over. It's time for another one. All right. Actually, I'm going to stop the stream and see how it's going.